Resilience versus efficiency, the corporate capital budget conflict. Resilience and efficiency are competing for the same capital budget. Efficiency reduces what you spend. Resilience reduces what you risk. When the budget can only fully fund one, most organizations are making the choice by default rather than by design. Resilience investments and efficiency upgrades are increasingly funded from the same pool of capital, and the trade-offs are not getting easier to navigate. For operations leaders, the question heading into Q3 capital planning is no longer whether to invest in energy infrastructure, but which category of investment actually protects the business. For most of the past decade, the answer looked obvious. Efficiency investments had clear payback periods, reduced operating costs, and aligned with sustainability commitments. Resilience investments were harder to justify because the risks they hedged were easy to discount when grid performance seemed adequate. That calculus has shifted. What has changed in the energy risk landscape since 2023? Grid performance in the United States has deteriorated meaningfully over the past 3 years. NERC's 2025 Long-Term Reliability Assessment flagged elevated risk in multiple regional interconnections, citing load growth, generator retirement, and extreme weather as compounding factors. The number of customers experiencing power interruptions lasting longer than 1 hour increased 15% between 2022 and 2024, according to EIA reliability data. For operations leaders, those numbers translate into a business exposure that efficiency retrofits don't address. A building that uses 20% less electricity still faces full exposure to a 12-hour outage. An HVAC upgrade that saves $80,000 annually provides no protection against a demand charge spike during a heat event. Efficiency reduces consumption. It does not reduce supply risk. How companies are splitting their energy capital allocations. Research from RMI published in 2025 indicates that commercial and industrial organizations prioritizing increased resilience investments, such as on-site storage or backup generation over the past 2 years, are increasingly reallocating capital, often reducing or deferring long-term efficiency retrofit budgets to fund immediate climate risk mitigation. In some cases, organizations are deferring second-generation efficiency projects in favor of battery storage, on-site generation, or demand response programs. This is a rational response to changed risk conditions. It also creates a budgeting tension that most organizations have not resolved at the strategic level. Facilities, finance, and operations teams are often working from different assumptions about which investment category has priority, and the decision is being made by default rather than by design. The risk that efficiency investments cannot cover operations. Leaders need to be clear-eyed about what efficiency investments do and do not protect against. Energy cost reduction through efficiency is real and bankable. Energy cost protection through resilience is contingent on events that may or may not occur, but whose consequences, when they do occur, are disproportionately expensive. A manufacturing facility that loses 18 hours of production during a regional heat event can erase multiple years of efficiency savings in a single incident. Bloomberg NEF analysis from Q4 2025 documented this pattern across industrial facilities in Texas, California, and the Mid-Atlantic region. Organizations with on-site generation or storage capacity recovered faster from grid stress events and faced lower unplanned downtime costs than comparable facilities without those assets. What C-suite leaders need to decide before Q3 budget planning. The conversation that most leadership teams have not had is the one that explicitly sets priority between efficiency and resilience when both cannot be fully funded. This is not a facilities decision or a sustainability decision. It is a risk management decision, and it belongs in the executive decision-making process. The variables include geographic exposure to grid stress, operational sensitivity to power interruptions, current grid interconnection conditions, and the company's existing asset base. Operations leaders heading into Q3 budget planning should pressure test their capital proposals against a direct question. Does this investment reduce what I spend, or does it reduce what I risk? Both have value. The right balance depends on the risk profile of the organization, and most organizations haven't modeled it explicitly. You've been listening to Sustainability Soundbites by Environment and Energy Leader. For partnership opportunities, please reach out to our team.